Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm pleased to be here. Reuven Elmalem, I'm based in France, where we have a European R&D Center for ZTE Corporation, covering value-added services. Today, I will talk about the new trends we are facing with operators, especially in the Tier 2 and the Tier 3 level, where we are actually moving from acquisition of system to procurement of services. ZTE is a global player. We have founded the company in 1985 in China. It's the only company listed in the stock exchange of Hong Kong and Shenzhen. And regarding the IPTV and over-the-top solutions, we are employing more than 1,200 people in this division. Very deep involvement in different patents and standards, including Open IPTV Forum. And we have been ranked by MRG Report lately as #1 middleware service provider and video-on-demand service provider as well. Let's talk about, first of all, the early days of IPTV, when operators that deals with more transmission, switching, and optical network started to think about TV over IP. It took for them years to deploy a quality and managed service for TV services, as this world was really unknown for them. They've been working a lot on market assessment locally, dealing with the coverage, the addressable market, and the next step was more the profit center, how much money they can bring into the company on the top of broadband. However, this part is the nice part, which is the profit center. Let's look about the cost center. The network cost is composed by two factors. First is the full ecosystem IPTV servers and deployment on the top of the broadband, but most often they faced a lot of troubles with the multicast support, the needs to invest more and more in the core MPLS network and the disk lamps. And they a little bit forgot about that content, unlike the case of BBC, is not something that they've been involved in. So it took something like years, to find in some of the operators some experts that can deal with legal rights. At the end of the day, this process took something like 1 to 2 years, including RFPs that last between 6 to 1 year regarding choice of provider. And this is very heavy process. The new trends is what we are actually going to speak this morning. The new trends is, first of all, based on dramatic disruptions in the device side, when we see a quad-core CPU with powerful personal computing, communication, control. Many operators invested in ultra broadband. On the other side, ultra broadband for LTE, GPON deployment, but they still face problem of monetization of these pipes due to the lack of understanding of content advertising. But more and more operators are looking at adding entertainment services into the bubble, into the cloud, together with voice over IP service and data. So among the different operators we are actually working with, we find the satellite operators, the cable operators, those are later the traditional TV players in the market, and of course the telco service provider and more mobile operators. And what we want to offer them is to manage the complexity of the cloud that you see on the left side. We come up into some conclusion regarding the must-have features, including the advertisement, which is something that can really boost up the ROI, the user-centric and user experience, and all what I think my previous presenter just mentioned about user experience and user actually satisfaction from the services. So let's now talk a little bit more about how we make these clouds, let's say, stable and sustainable, scalable. First of all, we are working with a lot of different partners. ZTE is a global solution provider, but still we must have some state-of-the-art technologies that are often developed in some of the startups around the world. We embrace the complete solution into one managed complex network that we are able to manage, including the different DRM scheme. Then we are actually showing to customers that we can reduce the TCO with factor of 10, comparing to IPTV. If there is no gap of 10, the OTT cannot fly, cannot scale up. It will be still some sort of niche, and it must be a factor 10. So let me see or show you a little bit what brings the operators to this world of buying services rather than buying equipment. First of all, most of the operators are dealing with what you see here. It's the access, improving the coverage, improving the quality, and especially the tier 2, tier 3 level, they have no idea, no clue on content management system, digital rights, and so on. So we take over the complete complexity, and we simplify it by saying that the service that the end user will have, and when you see service, it must have ability to run on smart TV, on game consoles, as well as OTT set-top box. This complexity need to be rationalized in a way that the operator start to have a dashboard with reporting about the consumption, reporting about the quality, and actually more and more focused on the branding development in country, and like I think you mentioned, to extend the service to the international using the open internet. So when we talk about open internet, we talk about different ways the CDN will be deployed. In some case, we are actually, of course, interacting with third-party service provider CDNs, but we're still able to monitor end-to-end from the video head and clouds up to the packet loss that we are observing in the device. Regarding the transformation of the cost structure to deploy the cloud TV, we are talking about solution setup fees that are very simple, based on professional service, meaning we still need to interface the cloud into the global CRM and the OSS systems, because at the end of the day, it's not us that is going to charge the end user. Now, the end user can be the end user itself, like a business to consumer, but it could be also an operator that acts as a wholesaler that sell the service to others. And then, beside the solution setup fees, we have the monthly fees. And this is very important for a very well, let's say, or quick decision that need to be done by the executive. What they want to see is very simple numbers. What is the real monthly OPEX fees that they need to charge? They are charged by ZTE, and actually, this number must include all license, all services, 24 hours a day. One number. Not anymore 100 Excel files showing here and there, license, not license, rights, etc. Just one number. Why this number is very important for them? As you know, the tight margin in LTT should bring them into more and more simplified discussion when they talk with their investors. And this investor wants to make sure that the ARPU, if the ARPU is 10 euro, this monthly fee need to be less than 2 euro. This is the ratio. If it's a 6 euro ARPU, then you can calculate again. But if it's not the case, it will not fly because of the needs to have permanent content rights. And as you know, the content belongs to others, and they also need to have a part of the cake. So to manage the growing necessity for these operators, we have actually built some consultancy services that helps them to really predict in their special region whether they missed already the flight or not. Then we have, if some operators would like to get further, we are entering into this explanation about the ecosystem, the vision we have, and the fact that basically most of the time that the operator will spend is about the provisioning and the billing. As I said, again, the branding of the company. So we distinguish between the on-net user and off-net. When we speak about off-net, these are those that are subscribers of different internet service, but are not necessarily those that are connected to this specific operator. It could be within the same country, and of course, off-net users could be expat that lives in the States that we still need to have content from London. So to summarize, on the left side, we still see that the content owners are improving more and more the different type of categories, the service. The operators with whom we are working is sit here between our managed service and the content providers. As I said, the operators pays to ZTE a single fee per month. That's it. This includes 5 devices or 6 devices per household. And where we see here, the households can purchase some sort of Android set-top box from the supermarket, upload the application through the standard app stores, and the ARPU that is generated by the acquisition of content is actually splitted and shared between the operators and the content provider. So bringing this into reality is about 6 months work rather than 2 years, 3 years, and where the ROI, return on investment, is actually starting almost after 3 to 4 months. This is the factor when I spoke about the 10 times less, meaning in all the IPTV projects we faced in the past, the ROI or the break-even was roughly 3 years. Due to what? Due to the complexity of cost, that people are involved, more and more human manpower, and of course the need to have quite expensive terminals that are very, very closed. Here we find ourselves with more and more open device. Here is, for example, we see a lot here in the show, Android set-top box from different vendors. We are really open to interface with any type of Android or equivalent, and simplify the introduction of the operator to the market. Here are just to summarize the main advantages. We actually allows rapid expansion of the application to new markets within the country and outside the country due to an international CDN that is spread within 14 countries and between the continents. And we manage within the single fee per month, we manage the complete maintenance of the CMS, the service platform, and the ability to offer more and more SDKs that open up the world for application providers to add revenue, as for example, from advertisers. So thank you very much. This is the short presentation for today. If you have any question, I will be pleased. Thank you.